What? The thumbnail didn't upload. Oh my god. That sucks, dude. What in the world? All right. Today we've got a CGC return. Welcome, guys. How's it going? Horizontal daytime stream. You know, you can't do a CGC return in vertical. It just doesn't make sense. So we gotta do it in horizontal. Maybe the vertical stream will be tonight. CGC return. Okay, come and see the Crossgrade results. Live card shop. All right, we got it. The Scooby Doo 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 Doo. Doo booby doo bee bee doo bee doo bee. Okay, we're gonna say at here we're going live. CGC return. Okay. Good. All right. I see you guys commenting. Hold on. So the CGC return, we only had one CGC submission and it's back. And it had 2 cards in it that weren't mine. Danny St. Amour, Pikachu and Dragonite McDonald's, Ivan Rodriguez, Rayquaza 75. So those are the 2 cards. The rest is mine. From the looks of it. So we're gonna say in returns, CGC return is back. Only 2 other guys in this return. How about this funky ass music, man? This is cool. You guys want this music a little louder? Let's start the music over. Click. All right. This is Donkey Kong Country Remix, by the way. PSA charged me? How much money did they take? Uh-oh. Nah, I have plenty of money for this. I think it means that our other submission is complete. Is that what it means? I hope I got a 9 or 9.5. Oh, yeah, you were in that one. Logging in. They took all my money! Dude, they charged me like over $3,000. You just gotta have a lot of money laying around for when PSA decides they want your money. All right, where's our thumbnail? Oh no, is Mike's side here? Oh my gosh, I don't think Mike's side's here. That's no good. Hold on. We can't be doing that. We can't be running this with no thumbnail. Give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna upload the thumbnail myself. That's no good. That's an emergency. Says he's up. He's usually here. Skip this crap. There we go. All right, let me save image. Okay, let me go over here. Change to this. Oh yeah, that's really important. That thumbnail is a big deal. Because people don't realize it's an exciting stream without the thumbnail. Pokemarket going up, says Charles Black. It'll eventually come back down. It can't go up forever. The thing is, it won't matter to someone like me when it goes down. It does not matter. Crossgrade results. All right, we're good to go. I thought he would, for some reason, I thought he would be here. Let me go ahead and close this. Your grades are available. PSA. Really? I want to see them. Let's see who got 10s. Let's see who got 9s. Today's a cards getting returned kind of day. Take action on your items within 20 hours. What? All right. So let's see. What we got? 9, 10, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9. McDonald's Minecraft movie. That one's mine. It got a 7? Yikes. Here's a Donald Trump card, got an 8. Here's a yellow version playing card, Charizard, got a 10. Turn this down a little bit now. Playing card Charizard got a 10. Wow. Lord of the Rings checklist promo got a 10. By the way, whose submission is this? Who's in here? Let me jump over here to the PSA submissions. This is like the April submission, I think. Okay, let's see. PSA submission, April. So there's not a ton of people in here. There's only about 15 cards. Danny St. Amour, Gavin Stewart, Jacob Dagabaugh, Nathan Palvong, the South Park card got a 9. Ryan Cheddar, Charizard 151. 6 got a solo leveling signature. How did that card do? Hold on, guys. I'm looking at this. Where the hell is it? All right, let me scroll back up. Okay. There was one SpongeBob card got a 10. That's cool. Charmander. Super Electric Pikachu got a 10. Japanese. Super Electric Pikachu got a 10. That would be Nathan Gordon got a 10. Wow. The 151 Charizard got a 9. So did the South Park card. The solo leveling signature card got a 10. Is 6 here? Is she listening? All right, let's see these Tammy cards. So Tammy, it said that you had Paldean Tauros, Iona, Tyranitar, Bellibolt, and Clefairy. You ready? So, on those grades, Tauros got a 9. Iona got a 9. Tyranitar got a 10. He's expensive. Bellibolt 9. Ooh, the Clefairy alternative art got a 9. I'm sorry. And then after that, I think it turns into my stuff. Yeah. So, that's cool. So, I got a Detective Pikachu 10, a yellow playing card Charizard 10. That's really nice. A couple girl cards in here. Lord of the Rings checklist got a 10. That's nice. Got a couple poker cards. Got a bunch of poker cards. This side up got a 1. Here's some yellow version playing cards. Got some 10s. Wow, I love seeing the 10s, man. Here's a really sexy butt card. It got a 9. A couple more girl cards. So I was thinking about getting some girl cards over. Oh, we got some Zelda cards. 10, 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10, 10. All 10s. 10, 10, 10. 10, 10. Legend of Zelda. 10, 10, 10. Triforce 10. I sent some Zelda cards in. Here's a Star Wars Galaxy Shadow Box card 9. That's sad. Walking Dead Daddy Daryl got an 8. So I bought that from someone. Top Star Wars sketch card got a 7. No grade, no charge. I wonder why that's a no grade, no charge. Another Topps card, a hand-drawn one. They did not want to grade it. That's not good. My Little Pony. Got some My Little Ponies. I sent 2 of them in. They got 9s. A no grade, no charge on this weird SpongeBob card that I paid a lot of money for. So they did not want that. That's too bad. I think I paid a lot of money for that. All right. And then 2 Hanafudas got 9s, huh? They rejected the Hanafudas for once. All right, guys. So that was the PSA return. I kind of shouted out the grades there. Now let's talk about the CGC return, which is mostly mine. This CGC return is interesting because it contains cards that I sent out to Crossgrade. Cross-grading by cracking cards is a very risky behavior because you can actually get a downgrade in the grade, which I believe we have one right here. So I'm going to pull this to the, I'm going to pull this to the side. Pull this to the side. We're going to start right here. Take a look at this. I think this was a 9 with PSA, was it not? So let's go to the regrades channel. Scroll way up to the top. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to be taking a look at the regrades. Oh, the Mews were 6s. A lot of regrades went out in this round. I know this Togepi was a regrade. I don't see a picture of it. Does anyone remember what it was with PSA? Was it an 8 or was it a 9? I don't see it. I suspect it was a 9. Okay, so that is a downgrade. Here is Mimikyu 8.5. Mimikyu is one of the ones that got crossed as well, isn't it? I don't remember. Nope, doesn't look like it. I take it back. So there is Mimikyu 8.5. Here is a Glalie 9. It's really cool, but it's just a 9. Here's an interesting one. We cracked this, I guess, and regraded with CGC. Look how off-center the top row is. Pretty off-center. And that turned into a 10. They said that's a 10. So Pillow Swine 10, okay. Now here is Blaine's Ninetales, turned into a 9. No, I did not crack this one. I remember, these are cards that I thought were going to get 9, and I said, let's grade them with CGC. That was what was going on. This is a pile of cards that should have gotten 9s. This got a 9. This is like a bad pile of cards. Volcarona got a 9. Chatot got a 9. So these are cards that I thought, don't bother sending these to PSA. They're going to get 9s. Here is a Rayquaza. This is the Rayquaza in question. It looks like this is the Rayquaza. That is one pretty card. Comes out of Roaring Skies. Should be pretty expensive as a 9. Here it is. Looks like from the back of it, we were not expecting a 10. You can see the upper left-hand corner is no good. That one right there. So you got a nice high grade, even though it's not a 10. There you are. You were just saying you were hoping at least a 9, and you got it. Add them to my box and send me the bill. Yeah, you want them all? Those might be a little more expensive, which is why I decided to grade them anyways. When a card is too cheap as a 9, it's better not to grade them. But that pile there included some older era vintage style cards. So that's yours, right, Ivan? There you go. Very good on that. Here is a 10 on the Vaporeon, a 10 on the Slowpoke. So these are cards that I thought would not do good with PSA, and they have turned into 10s with... Now, see, I feel like I cracked this one. I do. I feel like I cracked this one. That one got a 10, even though it's pretty off-center at the bottom. That turned into a Gem 10. So my thoughts on this is CGC is pretty nice to vintage cards. Now, here's a Union Arena Nikke. Got a 9. Looked like it was originally PSA 9. So this went from 9 to 9. But here's a dramatic upgrade. This guy right here, Cubone, turns into a 10, and he's being upgraded from a 9. So let me look. This guy was, yep, PSA 9. Now he's a CGC 10. That's a dramatic improvement. I thought, honestly, he would get it because I looked at him carefully. He's such a good card. This is not like a weak 10. This is not like a weak 9. I mean, this is a strong 9. It's a really, really nice card. I look at the corners and edges. A little off centering on the back, obviously. That's probably the main thing holding it back. But look at the front of the card. The front of the card looks fantastic. So this is like a true borderline card, and I think that will do well as a CGC 10. Danny St. Amour, we sent not 1 but 2 cards for him off to CGC. They both got the Gem 10. All right, not the Pristine 10. We would have preferred Pristine 10. Not a lot of Pristine 10s in here at all, actually. But yeah, so this has been interesting so far. I think Solo Leveling cards are going to rock it when Season 3 comes out. We've still got them. We still got, you know, what we're going to show them off when it comes back, and I'll decide if I want to continue to discount them or if we want to sell them at a normal price. Because if it's a set that's just doing really well, maybe we should just sell them at the normal price. Now, okay, so this is Danny St. Amour. So we have to be done on time today. Can't go past 7. I have a gentleman coming over. He's having a bit of a drive over here. He's an older retired guy, and he is going to go out on my boat with me to test drive it and potentially buy it off of me so that I will no longer have that boat. And I'm hoping he does because I don't use it. But I could use the cash. These are the Karudas, a set that PSA just does not grade. I don't know why they don't grade it. They don't want to grade it. Look at that. Lugia. That's a Gem 10. That's not bad. Oops. Gem 10 Lugia. Here's a Mimikyu. Here's an Eevee. Here's a nice Charizard. That might be valuable. Okay, here's a Cosmos Blastoise. So my experience from regrading Topps cards is don't. Because they don't upgrade. Topps cards rarely upgrade. I've been crossing these all over. This guy with PSA was... No, wait a second. He was an 8 with PSA. This is a successful upgrade. He went from 8 to 9. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. Here's Growlithe. Was he one of the ones that got tested? Let's see if Growlithe was one of the ones. Back out of this. He went from 8 to 9. Growlithe, he was a 7. Now he's a 9. So he went from 7 to 9. I take it back. I thought these were crossed as 9s with an attempt for 10. No, these got very bad grades with PSA, and I didn't agree with it. Because when I looked them over, I said, these look pretty good. All right, here's the Burb. So he was a 9. Now he is a 10. Okay, how about this Charizard? He's a big one. He's an 8.5. Maybe this was a downgrade. Looking for Rainbow Charizard. All right, here he is. Rainbow Charizard. He was PSA 9. He was downgraded. Oh, no. So this one shall be sent back to PSA. We're just losing money on it. He was downgraded. We're not going to tolerate that on Charizard. We're going to send him back and hope he gets turned back into a 9. You never know. Maybe he will turn back. Maybe he will turn into a 10, like magic. We will have to... Actually, why don't we send them to the next group, CGC? We'll see how CGC treats these. But, you know, notably, both of these were downgrades. Wait, let's say tag. So these are to be cracked. They were downgraded. 2 of the most important cards were downgraded. That sucks. Maybe they're harsher on the ones that matter the most. Now, that's beautiful. Look at that. That's a great one. Mister, do you own weaponry? Yeah, we own weaponry. Okay, so this guy goes from a 9 to a 9. That's bad because you are wasting money, and a PSA 9 is more prestigious. Okay, and then this card goes from 8 to a 9. This one was an upgrade. Here's a Persian. Oh, here's the Persian right here. The Persian went from 8 to 8.5. Not really an improvement. This one could be big. He says 10, so that's a big deal. Let's see what he used to be. Are you ready? I wrote down on the card, borderline 10. It was a PSA 9. I wrote down borderline 10. And look at this. Now it's a CGC 10. Okay, and now we've got Zapdos. He is a 9. So I would much rather have a CGC 10 than a PSA 9. But on the flip side, I'd rather have a PSA 9 than a CGC 9. And nobody wants a downgrade. Here is the Zapdos. Let's see, Zapdos goes from a 9 to a 9. So this is technically what I consider a downgrade. And then here is Lugia. Lugia goes from an 8 to a 9. That's an upgrade. A lot of regrades in this submission. And it looks like we did bad on 2 of the most important cards, but we did good on a lot of other cards. So I don't know if that evens out really well. We're going to have to crack those 2, send them back to PSA, and see where our fate lands. PSA or, I don't know, maybe tag grading. Maybe SGC. I don't know. SGC might grade them differently. You thought of that? These were cards that I knew had no shot at a 10, and I said, well, CGC is a little cheaper to grade with than the other companies. Why don't we just get these into a CGC holder? And to my surprise, 1 or 2 of these actually got 10. Like this guy got a 10. So I think CGC is just a little nicer on vintage cards. That is my theory. PSA used to feel that way. They don't feel that way anymore. PSA is just as harsh on them. We are. Okay, you ready? So, Mr. Stay strapped. So here is a Mega Sableye Tyranitar. This was originally PSA 9. Now it's a 10. These 2, I was really frustrated with the grade on these 2. These were graded PSA 6, which I didn't agree with that at all. These were PSA 6. Let me look it up. Here they are. These Mews were PSA 6 for slight curves near the corners. It says here I hammered out the corners. That probably I mean that I smoothed the corners, and then I sent them to CGC. So these are now 8.5s. So if you have a bend in your card, just go ahead and work on that bend. See if you can make it look kind of invisible. Might actually fix it. So there are 8.5s now. Here is a, oh, that's sad. I hate that grade. Here's a 9.5. They're saying this one's borderline. Let's see. So here are my thoughts about CGC right now. Send your borderline cards to CGC and cross your fingers, because you never know. Here's a Charmander. This was a cross grade, was it not? Let's see. Here it is. This card was PSA 9. Now it's CGC 9. That's a downgrade. Here's Aerodactyl Pristine. This was another one that surprised me. I actually remember this one. So this Aerodactyl graded 8 with PSA. CGC, it's a Pristine. Would you like to see it? Here you go, guys. There it is, PSA 8. Now a CGC Pristine. So, you know, I don't think it's necessarily the case that CGC just has poor grading standards. I mean, we almost got no pristines at all in this entire submission. Almost none. I think sometimes PSA has a grading standard that is just really stupidly too high. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, let's take a close look at this pristine. You ready? Looks like they left a piece of dust inside of the holder. Oops. But let's go ahead and zoom in. So that is not on the card. That is a piece of dust. Look at these corners. See that? PSA gave this an 8, by the way. This is a PSA 8 in PSA's eyes. PSA 8. And CGC's like, actually, that's really nice. Okay. Centering looks pretty decent. Top to bottom centering, not bad. How did this... Is there like a big print line somewhere? Where's the print line? Where's the print line? I don't know. I don't know. PSA said that's an 8. And CGC says that's a pristine. I think it's possible in the course of grading, especially many millions of cards, that these companies make mistakes sometimes. Whether they give you too low of a grade or too high of a grade, which nobody really complains about too high of a grade, but too low of a grade, that's very frustrating. So this is a mere Aerodactyl GX from Unified Minds, and it went from 8 to pristine 10. Now, I actually agree not with PSA, but with CGC on this grade. You know, they could have given it a gem mint too, but either way, I would have agreed with CGC on this grade. I think PSA screwed this one up and made me pay for it. So here, otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered crossing it. The only cards I bother crossing are ones I think have a shot to be upgraded. Okay, here's another card. This card graded PSA 9. It is now CGC 10. Look at this, one of the only other pristine cards in the order. This is these Karudas. They're very tricky to get high grades on. So what I would like to mention about these Karudas is before I sent them off to CGC, I took my own finger and I very carefully rubbed the edges of the card. Oh, look, this one's got a bit of dust in it too. All right, CGC's got to be more careful with dust in their slab. All right, so what I was trying to say, it had frayed edges. It's a thicker cardboard. Like, look at the holders. Do you see how the holder itself is thicker? Well, it has to be, because the cardboard in here is a nice, thick piece of cardboard. And the cutting job that the machines did on this, terrible. It's just not as good as a collectible card. So most of these will never grade pristine 10 because they're not cut very well. And I was taking my finger and removing some of the fraying just by sort of rubbing my finger against the edges of the card. And one card I did that an especially large amount to was this card. And I was thinking about it when I did. I said, will this help the card, or will it turn it into like a error card or rejected card, or like I wasn't sure how it would affect it. But this card in particular, I spent a lot of time smoothing the edges out, and look at it now. It's pristine 10, and it's one of the only ones. I think it is the only one. Yeah, it's the only one I submitted that got a 10. Look at this Gengar. So we have a nice Gengar Karuda. You don't think that's going to sell? That's going to sell. Here's Giratina. Nice. These are very strange. These are, again, these are Karuda cards. These are not even that old. These are modern Karuda cards. 2022. Well, that's a couple years old, actually. So we got these Karuda cards. They're very strange. If you get them at the right price, buy them, okay? Because somebody will buy them. People love Pokemon. All right, here we go. Here is Dark Golduck. And he is a crossover from Tag Grading. Tag gave this poor guy a 9. And I thought, when I looked it over, I thought it was just ridiculous. I was like, he's so nice. How is he a 9? And so we have sent him off to CGC. And in fact, he got turned into a CGC 10. Here is Dark Gyarados. Another crossover card. This was a Tag 9. And then we sent it off to CGC because, again, I thought it was very nice. And now it is a CGC 10. I thought it had a small shot. I didn't think it had a big shot, but I said maybe. And it was a good choice because this is just going to do a lot better than a CGC 10. I'm sorry, a Tag 9. Here's this poor Snorlax. I really, really, really had wishful thinking. I wanted this card to be a 10. It is still a 9. I love this card. I'm sad it didn't get the 10, but it was wishful thinking. You got to take a shot sometimes. And then we have this Primal... This is a big news story, too. Look at this guy. Wow, that is awesome. And this card's so expensive these days. And again, I would not have cross-graded any card that I thought had no chance at the cross-grade. These are all cards I thought had a shot. When I looked carefully over, I thought this card's issues are so minuscule, it could potentially upgrade. So that's why I have to say, if you own a true borderline card, don't give up on it. Let me show you a picture of this card, okay? So this says borderline right here. I wrote borderline on it. PSA 9, I said borderline. And so now we've sent it off to CGC, and I've gotten very lucky, and it's turned into a 10. Aerospace Man says, crack the Dragonite and send it in to CGC. That's what we'll do. Now, let's have a close look at this card. Why would I consider it? So you would like me to crack inside? I'd like to help you with that, okay? Because I would love for that to be CGC 10. Look at that. PSA did me dirty, man. They gave this a 9. How's that a 9? Look at that. PSA did me so dirty on this card. And CGC went in and said, all right, you can have a 10. I mean, there must be some flaw on it. I don't know what it is. But they didn't give it the pristine 10 like they did with the Aerodactyl. But, I mean, clearly, it's so rough that such a good card is not even 9.5. You know, it's like, it's legitimately very nice. And then here we have one more card, Charizard. Is this mine? Where did I even get this from? I might have bought one of these. I don't know, but I sent it. Oh, was this also one of these Crossgrades? I think it was. I think this is an old Crossgrade I've been holding on to for a long time. It's not going to be in here, is it? Wait, is that the top of the list? Hold on. Charizard 349. Oh! Look at this. Charizard 349. Look at this. In my regrade channel, it says the Charizard 349 got a PSA 9. PSA 9. From PSA 9 to CGC Pristine. And again, I just want to point out, I would not have bothered to cross-grade any of these cards if I didn't think that PSA was potentially wrong about them. I looked carefully and I said, this card doesn't look like it should be a 9. Looks like it could be a 10. Wow, a very, very worthwhile great regrade. That was worth every penny. The difference between a PSA 9 and a pristine 10 is going to be enormous. So there you have it. That is the regrade return. You should not always accept the outcomes that you get from grading companies. Be sure to look your own card over carefully. We're going to be recracking these and letting them have a turn at tag grading. Although I might just send this Charizard back to PSA. Tag grading is not kind to Topps cards. They are very rough to them. And then this was originally a PSA 9, and it's a very prestigious card. So I'm hoping if I send it back, it has another shot at a PSA 9. I guess CGC decided it was an 8. That's pretty painful. But we'll regrade those again, which means we just keep losing money on them. So that is the risk when it comes to regrades. I just don't buy it. One of these companies are well off, in my opinion. Well, shucks, I never seen so many goddamn Charizards. Dang Charizards. All right. So obviously we have a lot of new slabs for sale. I'm very pleased, by the way, with this. If you want to know how I feel about the overall outcome of this cross grade, I was very pleased. Major upgrades on a lot of cards. Only 2 of the cards got downgrades, important ones. We will send them back out and see what happens. Not a lot of pristines, but that's okay because based on the submission, we weren't anticipating a lot of pristines. And actually, the pristines we did get are really surprising ones. We got 1 Karuta Pristine. 1 Aerodactyl went from a PSA 9 to a CGC Pristine. And a very important card over here went from PSA 9 to CGC Pristine. So these are big players right here. All right, so there we go. We've got some CGC cards to price up now. We're going to set that in a pile over here and just work on them like we do with all the other cards. Yeah, those pristines are pretty cool. That was well worth the money. Okay, set this here like this. All right, some other news. Some other news. Destined Rivals is in. We have Destined Rivals again, everybody. They are now $12 a pack. They've gone up. It is the set to open, in my opinion. You should be opening Destined Rivals. I anticipate Destined Rivals will become very expensive. It's got too many good cards like Misty's Gyarados, Misty's Psyduck, Rocket Mewtwo, Rocket Nidoking, Rocket Golbat. It's got Rocket's Houndoom. It's got Blaziken in it. It's got multiple Typhlosions, like a really good-looking Holo and a really good-looking Alt-Art. AR, I mean. There's Ethan's Ho-Oh. There's Cynthia's Garchomp. There's just so many good Pokemon in that set. Even the Holos look good. I really like that set. Is it at the level of Evolving Skies? No. But maybe it's like a Fusion Strike level, you know? Maybe it's like a set like that, you know? So it's like an A-tier, A-plus tier set. I think it's one of the best sets you can open. Other than that, you can go after the Chrome cards in Pokemon Black and White. You can save up and wait for Mega Evolution. That's got the gold cards in it. It's got Lucario, Gardevoir, Venusaur. Those just don't hit the same for me. For me, I'd rather have Mewtwo. So I'd rather be pulling Mewtwo's. Excuse me. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start processing orders now. So first of all, let's take care of everyone who's already sent in an order. Who's got the oldest order? Boo, 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 doo, 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 doo. The oldest order is Lou Casta. He wants 6 of the 151 Chinese. So are those back? Are they actually on the menu? I think I have to go open up a new ETB. Not an ETB, a new box of that. Okay, so give me a moment. 151 Chinese. Oh, wait. You are talking about 151 Chinese. I was thinking of Hidden Fates Chinese. I'm being dumb. So I think I will have to scrum up another submission for CGC to see what else we can get done. Maybe some more Karudas, which are very weird and PSA doesn't grade them. Maybe a couple of cards that I'm confident will grade 9, but I like those cards anyways. Maybe a couple of cross grades that I think were incorrectly graded. We are. My Siggy got a 10. Your Siggy got a 10. Woo! Where did you get your slab brush? I'm pretty sure I just ordered it online. It's just a makeup brush. That's all it is. I use it to wash off slabs. You could also get a microfiber cloth. There you are. Feels like a nice little paintbrush. It's a nice thing. All right, these are 151s. Starmy. I'm rich. Six, you've been doing so good lately. It's very cool, Six. Six, do me a favor, though. Keep your cards. Don't sell them. I want you to hold on to them. Here we are. I like it when people hold their cards. You got some cool ones. Yeah, you got like that Victini lately. You got that. Because I know what you'll do. You'll be tempted to sell them. I want to see you hold them. Here we are. I'm happy with my 9. You can do whatever you want with them. They're actually your cards. There you are. You got to keep the... I know you're going to keep the anime one, though. The signature solo leveling. You can use that card when you're solo leveling. Here's Lou Casta with an L. Lou Casta. I don't know what is worth as 9. Just pulled the Sunbury on TCC pumped my Pikachu star. Got a 10 from PSA. It did. The SAR Pikachu. I think I called out a 10. A lot of the cards did not get 10s. PSA is pretty harsh at grading. Oh, yes. And Brett Love is saying maybe we should crack the Dragonite and give it a test with another grading company. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think it's worth the, might be worth the trouble. There is some inherent risk to it. Here's one of the risks. Are you ready, Brett? Is he still watching? Mr. Brett, you still watching? So one of the risks is when you send that card to them, it gets damaged. They damage it, and then they go, sorry, we damaged your card. So step number 1, we'll want to properly insure it. Step number 2, I could damage your card while cracking it out. Did you know that? So just having me crack it is dangerous. So you can either have me send it into them as a cross grade, or you can have me crack it and send it into them. Which one do you think you prefer? Some people prefer to crack the card and do it that way because they think that CGC will be less biased. You know, like if it gets a 9.5, it's not going to be very... There's no point, you know? Can you send all my cards? Luis Castaneda. Would I be able to slab away the Primal Groudon? Potentially. Or was that now your card? No, that one was my card. Here's Pat Gibbs. He says, 1 Poke Shuffle. Also, I was wondering if I could sell back a poker card I got from the lives. It's potentially possible to do that. Yeah, we could talk about that. I can also put it up on the table for consignment. We are. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that little Charmeleon pull. Very nice. Ugh. Charmeleon. Scooby-Dum. Scooby Buns. Where is he? Oh my God. Oh, he was like the last card in the box. There we go. Hey, what's up, Mr. LaFlame? You just missed the epic CGC return where we were able to get an awful lot of our borderline cards to get upgraded into 10s. We got really lucky. Most notably, we had a really nice Charizard. Look at this Charizard, Mr. LaFlame. This one was a PSA 9. Now it is a pristine CGC 10. How crazy is that? There we go. Not bad. Okay. Here we have Miss 6, 2 of the 151 Chinese. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I felt like it was pretty awesome. You know, I think I do remember where we got that Charizard from. Somebody sold me that Charizard, and it was ungraded when they sold it to me. And when I had looked it over, it looked really nice, which was why I accepted the trade. Look at that little Psyduck. And then when it graded 9 with PSA, I was really tossed over it because I had paid so much money to obtain it ungraded, and then it turned into a freaking 9. And I was like, this card is not a 9. And I was really frustrated with PSA. I felt that PSA had too harsh of grading. And now look at it. Look at it now. It's a freaking pristine now. And so I think I was dead on with that perspective. Makes me wonder how many other cards I had sent to PSA would have done better in general with the CGC. How many of my PSA 9s are CGC pristines in secret? Okay, Miss Six, starting you a fresh bag, $9.25. Thanks for being here, Six. All right, there we go. So what do we have here? Here is a really lovely Dark Gyarados from the Team Rocket collection. He's a nice vintage card. Okay, let's get him a sleeve. You know what returns mean, right, guys? It means fresh cards, fresh meat. Meat's on the menu, boys. So CGC is better than PSA? Not in all cases, but in some cases, I would say, yeah. I'd rather have a CGC Gem Mint 10 rather than a PSA 9. So in really specific cases, CGC is the better choice. It makes them a very good option for a regrade. All right, so we're going to go off of the CGC price for a card like this. All right, we've got a price, and it looks like he's priced at $215. I think I should put him in the live customs, don't you think? That would be a nice live custom, wouldn't it? Yeah, nice vintage card in the live customs. There we are. How would I go about seeing? If you're interested in the poker slab, it's there with you. What card is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is it Charizard? No? Then I'm not interested. I only buy Charizards, Gengars, Umbreons, Lugias. There's a slab list of what you have to buy. Sort of. If you go to our Discord server, we constantly take pictures of what's on the table, and then we post it to our Discord server. And the Discord server won't have all of the cards in it, but it'll have a lot. So you can always go shopping in our Discord server. I didn't really spell that right. Did you see the clip of Rajah Jackson punching the poo out of the wrestler? I've heard about it. Somebody asked me about it last night. Tell me about what happened. Why was he doing that? Why was he like punching the crap out of him? I heard he almost killed him. There you are. Why would he do that? And I need it for undermarket. And they have to be English, and they can only be PSA 10s. There we are. It's like, I remember that. You're pulling a Louis on me. Yeah, everybody wants that. Everybody wants the PSA 10 Gengar, Umbreon, Charizard, Lugia, undermarket price, strictly in English or something, right? It's almost like asking for a free card in a certain sense. It's like a partially free card, you know? I only want your good ones. You can toss all the bad ones to the side. It's like, all right, well, what? They're all for sale at the same time. Well, so they all have to be on display. There we go. So he is in. Fresh live custom card. Beautiful card. And let's see what's next. So we got this cool-ass Snorlax. I really wanted this card to upgrade into a 10. He's so good. He's a great card. He's Call of Legends Snorlax. This is a very desirable card. What was he, actually? So he's a CGC 9. What did PSA give him? Is this an upgrade anyways? Oh, it is an upgrade. So PSA was rougher on it. They gave him an 8. Man, it would have been nice to have a 10 on that. Because his chat on live stream told him to. What? Can I see my slab again? You went pretty fast. That's fair. Let's go grab your slab. All right, let's see. Look at this. They downgraded 2 of my cards, so that's sad. Oops. Look at all the dust on this. Now, I didn't put that there. CGC puts that there. Their slabs are so dusty when they come back. Ivan Rodriguez, Rayquaza 9. Pretty beautiful. You know, you're pretty lucky because these cards went up in value over time. The Roaring Skies XY era. You're going to find that that's a very valuable card. Dude was out cold after the body slam. Dude threw a dozen punches to the head before anyone stepped in. Just crazy. Really? Dang, a 9, says LaFlame. We were anticipating a 9, Mr. LaFlame. We saw the back of the card before we graded it, I'm sure, and it was pretty clear that the card did not have a shot as a 10. So, but the fact that it is a 9 is still a happy outcome because it's much better than if it had graded like 8. 8s are way worse. All right, here we go. CGC 9. Call of Legends. Snorlax. Not a lot to compare it to. Let me just try typing in 9 Call of Legends Snorlax. Here's the 8 for $80, non-hollow. And then the next one after that, let me sort it by lowest price. So the only thing we have to go off of is here is an 8 with PSA for $75. We've got a 9, but it's a CGC 9. So I have to wonder what a PSA 9 would sell for. I mean, in my mind, I'm seeing a PSA 9 priced around $150. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to ask $125 on this. All right. It's a very special card. Comes from a super expensive card set. He's using like Shadow Ball or something. Super cool. I wanted a 10 on that so bad. I buy 9s, so there's buyers out there. Yeah, we were talking about that last night. We didn't have a big audience. Well, we did have a big audience. We had 100 viewers. I was going to say, we were talking about that last night and how one of my theories is that Pokemon cards, the 10s will become owned by all the rich people in the world, and then normal people with incomes between 70,000 to all the way down to 0. You guys are going to be collecting sub-10s. So that's my perspective on Pokemon. I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm saying that's my anticipation. I'm anticipating that outcome. Look at this Psyduck. So, you know, I think a lot of people will be in the habit of collecting 9s over time. If you can get a 10 at a decent price, you should. Okay, so Unified Minds Aerodactyl. I'm so glad that I did not accept PSA's outcome for these cards, because I felt that they wrongly graded it. Okay, 9.25. People don't mind a 9. All right, now, there is no price for this, I'm sure. Well, let's go take a quick look. So, CGC grades these. PSA does not. Rip. CGC 10. Psyduck. Karuta. Ah, here we go. So here is a pristine Karuta Psyduck, different version, but it's in 2023, so mine's actually older than that one. And they want $112 for it. So we'll make ours, because it's a year older, $125. That's pretty good. Those Karutas are pretty hard to get pristine on. Again, they got like these bad edges. They have frayed edges. Okay, we have an order from our friend, Mr. Donnie. Donnie Verdyke, is that right? Verdyke? Donnie Verdyke. He says, I want 2 Stellar Crown and 4 Blue Sky Stream. I have it back. Okay, sounds good. Stellar Crown. I haven't opened that in a while. What's this? Is the box empty? Oh, the Stellar Crown box is empty. All right, let's go get a fresh Stellar Crown box. Okay. Ordered on Cash App again. Nice. So 4 Blue Sky Streams. Well, we only sell one kind of Blue Sky Stream, and that's the Korean version. 2, 3, 4. So you must want 4 of these. And then I got to get a fresh box of the Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown's good. It's got 2 ARs in it, Bulbasaur and Squirtle. All right. Whew. I snuck out of work to lurk real quick. He's turkey lurking. All right. It's the Lily Lunala Queen of Hearts PSA 10 slab. Oh, you're trying to sell me the Lily Lunala Queen of Hearts. We are. What you can do is you can make an offer in Discord if you'd like on that. Here we are. There we go. So, that's a fresh box of the Stellar Crown. Let's get these bad boys open. Did you see Mr. Wonderful buy a 13 million sports auto card? Nice. Mr. Wonderful. He needs to buy Pokemon, though. I like Mr. Wonderful. He's a lot of fun. There we are. Sports, huh? All right. Very good. I know he likes to collect watches. And I always thought to myself, I was like, you're collecting the wrong thing, Mr. Wonderful. All right. The Kobe Jordan Auto LaFlame. Ready? Sparkling Crystal. Ooh. Of course, Pokemon cards were probably, they probably showed up too late in his lifetime. He probably didn't really connect to them in any meaningful way, so he's probably never going to collect those. Here is a cold one. And a cold one. Oops. And Lando Butter. Look, you could call him Landorus, but he's the Lando Butter guy. So obvious. Okay, Donnie. Ugh. Nothing too crazy popping out this time. I have a bag, says Donnie. Let's go looking for it. Did you see the PSA 10 Gold Star sell for 1.2 million? What? What Gold Star sold for 1.2 million? I did not see that. That's a big number. Dennis. Is the Pokemon card market crashing? It could eventually, but I don't feel like it's crashing right now. All right, let's go looking in here, Mr. Donnie Verdyke. Dylan Downing. You said you've got a bag. It's not over a year old, is it? Here's Drew. Here's Daquan. Now, I don't see it. I'm going to go ahead and start you a fresh bag, okay? For sealed. I mean, no, it's not like sealed would crash and slabs wouldn't crash. They would crash together. I did not see it, Donnie. Is it like a really old bag, like a year old? Donnie says, ooh, it's not crashing for a while. Too much hype happening. You know, I just want to point this out. Last time it quote-unquote crashed, it's not like it went to zero. You know, it's not like it went to nothing. Card prices fell to a more enticing price, and they were still worth tons and tons and tons of money. I don't know, not a year already. Was it a slab? Did you get a slab? Did you go by a different name? There's some, you know, so you might have gone by a different name. Did you have like a Cash App name rather than a PayPal name last time? Daniel Wiseman. I'm checking the DA boxes. You shouldn't be in them, but... yeah, even when Pokemon was doing very bad, it's like it was still higher than it was in 2019. David Smith, David Capistran. I think what we all just sort of witnessed was Pokemon cards becoming expensive the way sport cards have been expensive this whole time. And this is like the rise of millennial video gamers. We're all turning 40 soon. Haha, I found you. All right, you were in the DE box. Ta-da. All right, your bag is not expired. It expires in December, so ship it before then. You could also upgrade it to, you could reset the date for $5. However, why do that when you can just ship it? So, but that is an option if you are international. If you are international, you can update the age of the bag for free. International buyers get to update their bags for free all the time. All right, we have a Lou Casta. We're all turning 40 soon. That hurts my heart. It's true, though. And you know what happens at 40 years old? You become the CEO. So a lot of millennials are about to step into big roles. And they're going to get paid a lot more money than they used to make. They've all got 10, 15 years of work experience now. They're all upgraded to software engineer 3. And, you know, they're getting out of dentist school. They're getting out of doctor school. They're becoming doctors. They're lawyers. They're partners in the lawyer firm. So, you know, all these millennials are getting bigger paychecks every time. And their investments are going up. And now it's time for them to have fun. You're going to see Pokemon cards rise with the millennials. That's what's going to happen. What do you think about sending Japanese AR rares in bulk to resell? Sending, or did you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe get paid in Pokemon cards. Yeah, maybe. Just a few years ago, he said these are just cardboard junk. Now he spent 13 million. Well, I'm glad to see that he understands that the junk is with the paper dollar bill. The dollar bill has no meaning. It's meant to be spent on stuff that does have meaning. And so the question is, what has meaning? Well, a house has meaning, a car has meaning, your health has meaning. But then when you get all those things put into order, what's left? Well, what is there to collect in the world? And that becomes a big question. I don't know. Dinosaur bones? So turns out cards are this special thing that they're very collectible. So let's go get you a 1-pack of Japanese base set Scarlet. All right. Let's see, they're right here. What is there to do when you're at the end of the video game and you got all this high score, you got all this money, all this currency in the game? What are you actually supposed to spend it on? You could go buy the Mona Lisa, right? And there are people that do that. You know, there's a group that does nothing but buy, sell, and trade fine art, even modern art, right? Some people are just going to do Pokemon cards, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great for the Pokemon card company. I wish we had a Pokemon card company. Like I wish it was our company. You could go start a company if you want, but you've probably already done that in life. You're already wealthy, right? That's why I said you're at the end of the game. You're already wealthy. So what is there to collect? What has people's attention? What do people desire? And you're going to see Pokemon do well. You'll probably see a lot of card sets do well. Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe lesser to a degree. Dragon Ball, Digimon to a lesser degree, maybe Metazoo a little bit. Those are niche. One Piece sets, those are good. Some Weiss sets are pretty good. Like we got, there's all these Weiss sets out there for like just various games. Full Metal Alchemist, maybe. Yeah, collect a Full Metal Alchemist card. It's a pretty famous anime. So you're going to see a lot of that stuff do well over time. Let's go ahead and reset that music. All right, what we got? So, we are still shipping for Mr. Lou Casta. Shipping. Let's grab your bag. Okay. Set $9 for shipping. My girl saw that Mimikyu that came back in the CGC return and she really wants it. Could you price it and reserve it for me? And I'll send it for you when we get the price. That was the Mimikyu 8.5. And yeah, I could probably just go grab it. That one's not too insane. Let's go grab that one. Lou Casta. Lou, are we shipping you for the first time? It looks like we might be shipping you for the first time. If we are, I need your shipping address. Do you know how to get that to me? To get me your shipping address, you just need to email me at TheCardconomist@gmail.com. That's the trick. You can find the email at the top of the description under ZELLE, TheCardconomist@gmail.com. So get me your shipping address, and we'll get a label printed for this guy, okay? Sound good? You can also keep adding to the bag. All right, let's just have a quick look. Is the Mimikyu nearby? Hide that Psyduck. That's my wife's favorite Pokemon. Oops. I think that this submission has been a lot of fun because we were really testing out cross-grading. We were questioning PSA's overly harsh grading standards, which I think are, at this point, needlessly high. And they're looking a lot like BGS, basically. Like, that's not good. You don't want to be BGS because, essentially, they would be BGS without a pristine and without a perfect grade. Well, that's stupid as hell. That's just worse BGS. So PSA had a nice thing going where they graded their cards a little less harshly than BGS. That's what they had going for them, and that's what made them so popular. So if they suddenly get super duper duper harsh on the grading, what's the point of grading with them anymore? You know, it becomes really difficult at that point. But, you know, it's a weird, it's an evolving landscape, the grading sort of like hierarchy, if you want to call it that. It's an evolving landscape all the time. I just bought some slabs the other night. Did you guys see that? Let me show you. Let me tell you what I didn't buy. I didn't exclusively buy PSA slabs. Look at that. There's a couple PSA slabs here, but look, there's also 3 tag slabs because I've you know, looked at tag enough to know that The slabs are going to be fine as 10s with tag because it's going to be harsh enough. And there you have it. So 3 PSAs, 3 tags. That's actually 50-50 when you think about it. So, you know, PSA, they could lose their grip. It doesn't happen overnight. But, yeah, I was sending a lot more cards to places like Tag for tag grading because I didn't agree with PSA's higher price mixed with their BGS-like grading harshness. Also, another thing that's changed in my habits. Oh, we're not writing this down. No one has spot this yet. Another thing that's changed with my habits, I now more carefully send a lot of cards off to BGS. That's important to me that a lot of cards are tested by BGS for Black Label. Black Label is important. Did you see a HoloLive character will be featured in Japan's Forbes cover? What? I want to be featured. We are. Friggin' e-girls. So I'm not going to look up 8.5 for this card. I don't care for that. We're just going to price it as an 8. That's how I do it. We don't bother with 0.5s. They're pointless. I mean, unless it was like $1 million card, then it's not pointless. But this is certainly not. Wow, the ungraded version is $65. And so here's a PSA 9 for $135. We got an 8.5. So I think the price on this should be just around $80 probably. There it is. Cheap, affordable. He's from 2018. This makes him 7 years old. He's not a young card anymore. That's quite old. So we have Lou Castaneda. Hey, what's up, man? All right, Lou Casta. I swear it's the era for virtual waifus. Here we are. Lou Casta. Pretty soon it'll be the era of the virtual gaifus. I'm surprised people bought that one e-girl's bathwater. I'm not surprised. She basically created the e-girl. You realize that? Back then, there weren't a lot of people doing that. It was like this brand new idea that only a couple people were playing around with, and she was maybe the hottest one playing around with it, the e-girl look. And she went very far with that. And now you can go online and run into that style all over the place. She basically invented a style. There we go. Oops. All right. When you invent something, people don't forget that too fast. Let's go ahead and grab this. Sticks in their mind for a long time. There we go. Mr. Did you goon to Grok's Annie character? I don't even know what that means. Let's see what it is. Grok's. Oh, Grok's the AI. Annie character. Let's see what she looks like. She just looks like every anime girl. She doesn't look that hot. All right. Whew. Man, the fact that that is a word that I hear almost all the time now. I hear that word. The goon word is just constant. Everybody says it. All right. I seen hotter chasers at McDonald's. Chasers? Cashiers. I didn't think she was hot. You look lonely. I can help that. Ooh, we need to buy some taco funds here. So hold on. We got to buy some postage, guys. Okay. That's expensive. We have our postage, and now we are going to print our label. We are currently verifying that we have up-to-date rates. Oh, my God. JOI is the future. Hey, I buy my waifus. I seen the hotter. I already read that. Free Palestine. I pray my Ace SP hits Black Label. Would look so nice with it. Do you think I should hold my full art rainbow tag teams? I mean, you could. Are you ready? What if the tag team cards aren't, you know, these rainbow hollows aren't going to be the best performing card, but they are going to go up a little bit, and then you sell them and you buy something else thinking, well, now this one's going to go up even more, and it actually does worse than them. Would that be sad? I'd buy Pokey Rev's bathwater. Oh no, bro. Okay, putting that away. Good. I'm totally going to get into this later. Let's see. We've got Jack Woodworth. He's setting in for the Mimikyu. Here you go, Jack. Jack Woodworth. Very nice. You'd buy Pokérev's bath water. Oh my god, bro. Oh, what was that? Guess I had this baggie of gem hollows. I think this is from Tammy. Tipped over. I have nowhere to put it. I see where they're sitting. They're sitting on top of the Japanese booster packs. I have nowhere to put this crap. I have to like clean this room or something. There's no more space. You guys have all the space. All right. Oh, I don't remember what I did last. Let's go 3 to the back. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. All right. These are yours. Ready? Shaboink. All right. 2 gold ones. Have a great stream. Just came in to say hello. Thanks, man. Appreciate you stopping by. So you will notice the daytime stream is in horizontal. That is because we had the CGC return. We might do vertical nighttime stream as a result. Andy Dirksen says, hey, please use my store credit for the Tag 10 Gyarados and 2 packs of Star Wars Galaxy Chrome. That's Andy Dirksen. Oh, you got it, Andy. Let me look around for you. So you want the, what? Tag 10 Gyarados. Anthony, aha. And then 2 packs of Star Wars Galaxy Chrome. Let's take a quick look at that. You must mean this then. Is that right? Tag 10 Gyarados. He's a great card. Do we still get the Daystream Givey from winning last time? I think we already did that. Pretty sure we did. Here's Andy Dirksen. I forgot. We're supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be testing how many likes you guys hand out. So you guys are at 30. Okay, you guys are at 30 likes. If you want the giveaway tomorrow, you have to beat nighttime stream tonight. Yes, we already handed that one out, I'm pretty sure. So that was 40, right? Yeah, that was 40. So this goes down to 146. Okay, and then after that, 2 packs Star Wars Chrome. Let's see, Star Wars. There they are. There we go. Okay, let's snip this. That's a nice Psyduck. If you're interested in that Psyduck, I don't think he will last a terribly long time. Psyduck is one of those top tier Pokemon for some reason. There it is. The fact that he managed to get a pristine 10, even though he's a KU card, Karuta card, is really impressive. Wow, look at that. 2 buddies. 2 buds. Here's Kylo Crybaby, and here's Man-Woman. Here she is. Wow, I really just do not want to watch that. She's like too masculine looking. I don't know how to describe it. Like what makes her character interesting is that she's kind of like a hot orange girl or something, right? But then they picked like, I don't know, like this bodybuilder. Here we go. We are? All right. She maybe would do well in another role, but I look at this and I go, I don't want to watch that. All right, let's see. Let's see. Ooh. Man, I should have gotten a Darth Maul card ready before I went to Collecticon. I didn't know Darth Maul was going to be there. Look, I could have taken something like this. That'd have been cool. Get a nice numbered card. The last submission, Mew, you said, was sending it to Crossgrade is now be sale or resending. What? I'd like some jelly beans from Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan. All right. So we've looked at the cards in here. This one's a nice rainbow color to it. Tint. This has a rainbow tint behind it. New bag, says Andy Dirksen. Sounds good, Mr. Andy. Did you get anything from Collecticon? Just one thing. I bought a Tyranitar. This one? Where is he? I bought this Tyranitar from Collecticon. So he's a nice little staff card, see? Pretty neat. All right, that was another interesting experience. So we talked about Collecticon a lot last night. If you guys want to hear any stories from Collecticon, feel free to ask. I got to stand right next to the actor who was Darth Maul. I did not sign up for a signature though, but I got pretty close. It was really neat. And he looks just like Darth Maul. And then also, I got to shake Chum Lee's hand from Pawn Stars. So that was a highlight. I like Chum Lee a lot. He's like insanely chill. I don't know why or how. He's very. It's almost the opposite of me because I'm often wound up. But he's like super laid back and chill. Reminder, was trying to buy the Mew last time. Oh, what was your experience? It was nice. I think we paid like $50 each to get in, so you lose $100 just to get in through the door. There. So if you're not going to make a lot of good Pokemon deals after getting through the door, might not make as much sense to go. There's a lot of people in line for the signatures, so you have to be willing to give up your whole day to get a signature. But on top of that, you have to pay for the signature. It was $80. I didn't know this. It was $80 for a Darth Maul signature. And I was like, no, never mind. I was like, I don't need one. Let's see. It would have been cool, I guess, but the big problem is I didn't have a card ready. So we need to remove $44. That leaves you with $102. That's standard convention prices, $50 each. Dang. Mister said $80. It was $80 for the signature. So we were there at the end. At the very last minute, the line to Darth Maul got kind of small. And so we stood in line, and it was our turn next. And the lady's like, "Where's your money?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's $80." I was like, "Oh." And I was like, "Nah, I'm out of here." I just didn't want it. I didn't want to spend that much money for it because I had like a really bad card. I found this $3 Star Wars card with like a little bit of Darth Maul on it, and that was it. And so I bought that to take with me. But, you know, if I was going to pay $80 for a signature, I would have wanted a nice Darth Maul card. So, did you get Jason Page's Siggy? Nah, he wasn't there. funny thought, though. That would have been interesting. There we go. All right, here's Phil Vasquez, 40-year-old man, old man money. Box of Korean Lost Abyss, please. Ooh, okay. So, that is a very fun box to open. Gives you a chance for the Giratina Alt-Art. Let's go grab that. Korean Lost Abyss. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. We got one right here. We got one right here. We're good. That's normal nowadays. Got to pay for the Siggies. Ooh. Yeah, it was pricey. Karis got to talk to a voice actor who played a anime girl that she really liked. She was like, we are fangirling out. Okay, very good. I would have come to meet you and buy you dinner or something, or eat or drink. Yeah, we hung out in Kansas City for the night. We went to a authentic German restaurant where they served you water with no ice. And I was like, yuck. This is so gross. We are. But the food wasn't too bad. Actually, they had a beef goulash thing that was like really good. Had a strange flavor to it. I was like, what are these spices? Went to Anime Impulse last month. Saw a whole bunch of Sonic character voice actors. The lines were empty AF. Ooh, that's got to be frustrating. Because if they get paid per signature and no one's in line for the signature, that's no fun. All right. There were a lot of booths. I was impressed with the variety of cards this time. Last time, I was not impressed. Notably, you might have heard me say last time that when I was at the Kansas City Card Convention 2 years ago, which would have been 2023, I felt that I personally offered better cards than most of the people at that convention right here on this table. Now, I was there this time, and I was really impressed by the variety. I was like, wow, there's a lot of high-end stuff. But it was so damn expensive. I saw cards that I recognized, that I knew the prices of, and they were not cheaper to buy at Collecticon, despite the fact that they're avoiding the eBay fee, despite the fact that they're getting paid in cash half the time. So they get the cash, and then they don't have to, you know, they're probably not going to pay taxes on it, right? They're going to avoid that. They're going to pretend it didn't happen. They're tax evading. So I was really impressed with the variety this time. But the vendors looks like they absolutely hated their jobs, by the way. Most of them looked very tired and bored, like they did not like selling Pokemon at all. And their prices were just so high, dude. And there were cameras everywhere. It's like they're all waiting to catch a thief. I noted that too. I saw the cameras. They got a camera looking at every case in every direction. And I was like, okay, you're like in a security camp. They're small cameras, But if you know to look for them, they're just everywhere. The cameras are everywhere. There were a lot of booths selling like nonsense Chinese garbage, you know, like little stuffed animals and stuff like that. There were Labubus were there. There was a really, really big Metazoo, like a fancy Metazoo spot vendor. They had like a whole portion of the floor carved out for them with tables to play the Metazoo game. They had this big, you know, like impressive banner situation where it's really good looking. And yet, it was not that crowded. It was not that crowded. It did have people there, though. It wasn't empty. But they were burning through their advertising budget to get attention, which is the point. But yeah, it was all right. How much is the Togepi? The Togepi is going to be regraded. They had HoloLive members at Anime Impulse. Siggies were like 80 for any item you wanted, 50 for specific items. Metapoo making a comeback. I don't know. The Metapoo had, again, a really large display. They had a very fancy display. Like, they had this wall, and it was like lit up. It was like a light wall, and it had this gigantic Metazoo, you know, artwork on display. And then they had these tables for playing the game. There were some people sitting at the tables. And there were like 12 people who worked for Metazoo there. It was giant. But, you know, it just didn't seem as busy as you would want it to be. You know, you would hope to get like a whole line of people there. But you know who did have a line of people was Chum-Li. And Chum-Li was really funny. He was all sold out of like everything. You could see like all these empty like bins that would normally hold slabs, and they were just sitting there and they had nothing left in them. And when I talked to Chum-Li, he does this deal with this guy for like $30. He's like, we could do 30. It's so funny. No, you got a cold box. Oh, Phil. That's the game sometimes, Phil. So this would be a cold box. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. That's the game with these Korean cards sometimes. Some of the boxes have no hit at all. Don't feel bad, Phil. You know, some boxes do have hits, but they're just like a golden trainer card. So it's essentially the same as a cold box. So you got unlucky on this one. I'll buy more tonight. Sounds good, man. Metazoo will never make a comeback. It's never made a comeback. Send a Discord message about selling the slab whenever you have the free time. Sounds good. Wait. Dane Green was the voice of Mewtwo. Tim, you could have had him sign. How did the card show go? Yes, we were talking about this last night for a long time. I had a lot to say about it. Let's see. Philip. We're looking for... You didn't need a new bag, right? Okay, let's see. Patrick. Kueli. Poppy Churro. Guy named Piss It Ouch. That bag's expired. Philip Ardonato. Paul Vang. What time is it? 5:30. So I got to be done by 7. There's a guy coming over to look at my boat. Patchin, Patrick, Paul. Q Long. Sadly, the admission fee is turning people off. How much is the admission fee where you guys live? Poppy Churro again. Poppy Churro has 2 bags. It's a new bag situation? Might be a new bag situation. Let's see. Ugh. Okay, what's this? Philip Adornado again. And this is Quinton. All right, new bag. Whew. Mr. Steve Blum was at Collecticon, the voice of Spike Spiegel and many more. Stephen Blum. Yeah, I saw that name. It was a familiar name. Who would I know that he voiced? I saw that. He was next to Darth Maul. Here we are. You got to invest in things that have a good history. Metazoo does not. I think that Metazoo was doing okay until the finances were mismanaged. But I thought that actually Metazoo had an extremely sharply good past that was too good to be true. That was the bigger problem. So think of it, if you didn't know what Metazoo was, if it was just some game that was just starting out of the blue, you would not really hate on it too much. You'd be like, yeah, it's another niche card game, right? Like, oh, look, just like, you know, Flesh and Blood or whatever. There's all these different companies that want to start a successful card game. So you wouldn't think too much about it. The thing is, it received a lot of hate for being too successful in the past. And there was a lot of conspiracy and a lot of, well, it's a hype train and, oh, it's all going to crash. So that's actually working against it right now, is that it was too successful in the past so that when it fell, it looked very bad when it fell. But that doesn't mean that it has no viability at all. Zach Stekowski, 5 Journey Together. It's all about what they do with it at this point. If they can actually make it popular, not from hype, but from merit, if that makes sense. They have to make it popular on its own right. Like, it has to just be fun to play. They have to create a culture around it. They have to create media, social media value. So that's up to them now. I got to go find more Journey Together, guys. I'll be right back. Cowboy Bebop, Vincent Valentine, many more. Steve Bloom, a big voice, American voice actor. All right, let me go grab this Journey apart. All right, hold on. I'm still looking. I can never find this product. I have trouble with this. Maybe I'll just go get a fresh box of it. Yeah, maybe it's time. All right, let me go get a fresh box. All right, I'm back. So I couldn't find it, so I just got a fresh box. Journey Together is such a cool set, and I like the price on it. The voice actors for the original Sailor Moon was there. Mister, you missed out. Well, I didn't watch Sailor Moon, so I don't really care for that. But yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, actually, her booth wasn't that busy. One guy had the longest line by far, and it was the voice actor for Son Goku. Son Goku voice actor had a line as far as the eye could see. It was like really bad. Even all the way to the end of the event. All the way to the end, he had a huge line. People just waiting there patiently like, I'm going to get a signature. All right. You know what? This would be a cool card to add to the binder break. Did you guys forget about the binder break? Yeah, the voice actor for Ash was there. That's right. She was there. She had a decent line going. Veronica Taylor. Yeah, I saw her. Let's see. Okay. Mister was buying all the good cards. So you got no, I didn't buy too much. Reshiram, Pikachu. I really just went for a walk. We went through a walk in downtown Kansas City too. It was really nice. Kansas City, they're doing a lot of construction out there. They're building stuff. I think it's because of the success of the Chiefs. They want to expand their city now. Look at all this. Ooh. Ooh. Look at all that. I think they want to beat St. Louis. St. Louis, St. Louis has a lot. It's got Union Station or whatever it's called. It's got the Soulard Market, Forest Park, Central West End, which is really cool with the Basilica. I don't think they had a Basilica in Kansas City. St. Louis has the Basilica Cathedral. Super cool. Are there 2 people in here? How many people are in here? No, just one. Mr. Sven's in here by himself. Is that right? He shouldn't be in there by himself. Wasn't there another guy in there? I thought Isaac was in here. Huh. Weird. It must be just Sven. Can you adopt me? No. We are. Mr. Always pull me good Magic the Gathering cards. There we go. So, 5 of these for Mr. Zach. You ready, Zach? I'm here. How goes it? What's up, Isaac? Tossing this. How much is the binder break? $40 a spot. 7 spots. There it is, just like last time. Ooh. Just been sorting out my cards. It's a nice birthday Pikachu. Look at that Aerodactyl. Pristine from Unified Minds. Cool. Let's get a snip going on here. Jason Page was supposed to be there, but he canceled, it says. Oh, so I could have met him, huh? I want to be the very best. Hey, kid, want some Jason Page signatures? They're going to the moon. Here's Dunsparce. Whoa! Look at that! You make it look easy. Look at that. Regular Spider-Man Magic set won't be reprinted due to licensing. Oh, so even that set's going to go up. Now, see, why doesn't this fit? That's so lame. I don't like that. Wow, wow, wow. You should take a fishing pole out on the boat and catch something one last time. I haven't gone fishing in Lake of the Ozarks even once. I just don't spend my time fishing, I guess. We are. Okay, let's try that again. So I trimmed the sleeve to be shorter. Now it's a raggedy sleeve. Oh my God, dude. Please. Okay, let's try that again. You gotta tell me to grade this anyways, and then this whole piece of work's gonna be pointless. I gotta come out there. We gotta go fishing. Yeah. I actually went fishing an enormous amount as a kid. That was my dad's favorite pastime. He liked motorcycles and fishing. I liked video games and staying indoors. I liked video games and money. We are. Parasect Mimikyu. Ooh, I'm fascinated by money and banking. Here's Mimikyu. Here's Eselgur Among Us. Anyone seen Jason Page crack that slab? No? I did have a guy recognize me while I was there. I was just looking at a vendor booth. What? Another alt art? That's not legal. Wow. Pretty good. Very good, Mr. Zach. Well, if you think about it, guys, he had pulls from 2 separate boxes, didn't he? Remember those, the blisters? He had 2 blisters and then three packs from a different box. Wow, wow, wow. Pretty good, Mr. Zach. That was a lucky round that time. If we could only all be lucky all the time. Okay. I really don't mind Journey Together. I think it's a cool set. I gotta have me my boats and hose. I cannot get rid of my boat fast enough. It's just not the right boat for me. I would like a much faster boat. The boat we have goes all the way up to a whopping 30 miles an hour, which for me is too slow. And so I'm not going to use it, and so I have to sell it, because if I don't sell it, it's just going to keep getting older and less valuable over time, even if we don't put any miles on it. I dream of having a dock, but there is a sturgeon pond that's ran by Fish and Wildlife 2 walk from me. Can't fish in it, but the river is nearby. Mister went back to check. You forgot to put $47 toward my slab away. Janice put in the order on 8/22. Really? All right, let me take a quick look. Let's get this fixed. Let's see, on 8/22, and today's 8/25. And Steven Gonzalez, 90, 85, 75. Oh yeah, that'd be really easy to track. So I'm going to believe you without having to look it up. We're going to say 75 minus 47. My bad, dude. 28. Okay, 28 remains. Okay, very nice. That's why we keep all of that information visible, so that you can track it very easily and catch me if I make a mistake like that. Here's Jared Line. Can I get 10 Halo Upper Deck packs? Wow, Jared, first time order? That's Jared Line. Who's Mr. Jared? Where are you at, Jared? He wants 10 of these Halos. Mister's a true professional. Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boat means break out another 1,000. Boats are definitely expensive. You have to pay for the same things you would with a car. You have to get the same licensing and all that stuff. You have to pay taxes. And then, you know, when you drive it around, you need to get fresh fuel for it. If you fuel up at an actual boat fuel place, they charge you a lot more money for that than the normal fuel. Even though it is just normal fuel, they just pay you a lot. They make you pay a lot more. And boats need maintenance just like a car too. I mean, maybe even more maintenance than a car because, you know, the propeller can suck up all kinds of weird stuff like fishing lines and seaweed or whatever grows, moss, whatever grows in the water. Sticks, twigs, dead fish can get stuck in impellers and stuff. And then you have to winterize it or unwinterize it. And yeah, it's definitely not free. But that would be true if you owned a plane too. If you owned a, you know, any cool, like maybe like dirt bikes and stuff like that. But dirt bikes are easy because you can just get them moved around. What's difficult about boats is that they're in the water. So you somehow have to get it to a water mechanic, and that part's difficult. There's not like easy tow trucks for moving your boat around. There are actual tow boats though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go get the other 10. Ew, boat tax. Let's see. Boat scam, granny's blank growing moss. What? Why are we talking about grandma? Let's go grab some more Halo cards. All right, here we are. Ta-da! Just clean your boat with soap after use. Boats are a lot of work. They're definitely a play toy of the wealthy. I might get a Sea-Doo if we don't move. If we do move, I do not want a Sea-Doo. Yep. Tempting to move. There it is, 5 of those. Doobie doopie doopie doobie boo. All right, Mr. Jared. Ta-da! Jared, let's start getting this Halo upper deck opened. So, Jared, is this your first time order? Ready? I'm okay, says Jeffrey Giordano. I feel like boats are like a pursuit of a retired person because it's a luxury vehicle is what it is. It's a luxury vehicle for the water and takes so much maintenance and so much cleaning and so much prep time. Like you have to get all the cobwebs off of it. You have to get all the crusty, musty stuff off of it. You got to keep it really up to date, up to check. You got to clean it, clean it, clean it, clean it. You got to put a tarp over it. There's like a boat cover. And then when you drive it around, it's just sort of like, we're on the water and there's no reason to be here on the water. We're just here because it's fun. So I feel like it's a perfect sort of like way to pass the time if you're old and you want to get some fresh air and you got money. Okay, hey, what's up, CS Man? Hey, mister, I'm in the U.S. Yay! Hey, CS Man, you want some sort of giveaway? What was it? What did he win? He won the square cut card or something like that. Oh, Jared did well on his first time. Look at this Cortana. Look at that. Beautiful, man. Man conquers nature. I smell a rare card. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, we've got this guy, the Brutus Chieftains. Ooh. So I'm going to put the rest of these back in here because they're like common cards, right? I don't really worry about them. Let's grab the next pack. Huh, was that in the morning stream? It was in yesterday's nighttime stream, which might have been not nighttime for you. That might have been morning time for you. So it's at the end of the previous stream. Oh, you got a holo. Let Valier. You got Let Valier. Cortana is Bill Gates' perfect lady. I don't know. She might be too old. We are. Didn't Bill Gates go to the island like a whole bunch? That is weird, isn't it? He must have just been doing lots of business. Lots of technology business. All right, what's next? 3 a.m. is morning, mister. Oh, that's actually a good point. It's like the overnight stream is more like a morning stream. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, you did good. Cortana chip redemption. So this will be a hit card, but you have to redeem it. Do not redeem. All right. So you scratch this off, and then you go to their website and you redeem the code. Now, if you send me a message on Discord or an email, I can scratch it off for you and send you a picture of the code, okay? But this is going to be a big hit, but we don't know what it is. All right, good. So he's got a numbered Cortana. He's got a Cortana chip redemption. Pretty good. Do not redeem. It's a classic. Go. Now we've got... Zoop. What was Bill Gates doing, you think? Just probably some tech business. Hey, guys, I'm here to do some technology. Here's UNSC Warthog. Ooh, shiny. All right. Remember that creepy interview he had where he's like, well, yeah, well, he's dead now. What the hell? The way he said it. Like, good riddance. Like he was some sort of weird inconvenience. Was it at the end, middle? I'm going to try to find it, relive the moment. Thanks for putting me in the giveaway. No problem, man. It's at the very, very end. So check the very end. Somewhere very close to the end. That's going to be a transparent Master Chief. All right, you're doing great, Jared. You're actually pulling tons of good stuff. That is Halo 2 Anniversary Master Chief Transparent. That's a hit. You got Cortana numbered, Cortana chip redemption, and a transparent Master Chief. So far, so good. I mean, you're pulling exactly what you want to pull. I don't know why he continued to visit him in jail. Did he actually? Okay, now we've got a bunch of these, couple of these, couple of those. Holy mommy. All right, but you also have another transparent. This is Edward Buck. It's called active camo, not transparent. Yeah, but PSA has called cards like this transparent cards because that's what they are. They're transparent. All right, so I just call them transparent. Just like PSA might have a certain name for like a full art card, but sometimes I call them etched cards because they're literally, they have a figure in them that's etched into them. This ODST Buck. My name's Buck, and I like to shoot. Here's a holo. He had Jeff killed because Jeff was about to spill the beans. You never know, man. You never know. Didn't Ghislaine Maxwell just come out and say that she believes that he did not commit suicide? That was in the news, right? Although I don't know if you can trust anything she says because she's a person of interest who has her own motives. She has motives to stay out of jail. So she probably say anything that she has to say to whoever she needs to say it for. So whoever offers her a good deal or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she's like compromised. You can't trust anything she says. She was an accomplice. You can't trust anything she says, probably. But it is interesting. I guess you'll listen to it. She will get pardoned. You never know. You never know. All right, tossing this over here. How do we always end up talking about this some way or another? All right. Good. Now we've got... Master Chief, but it's got a big wiggle on it right here for some reason, whatever that is. Still, it's really cool. That's Halo 5 Guardians Master Chief. All right, so Stinky Master Chief. When the game got really bad. Okay. She will get pardoned. And she will get pardoned. Jared with the big first-time order. I love it. Last pack. See the hunters there. Bill Gates just probably went to the island to have a quiet place for phone calls with his wife. Yeah, he probably called her, told her how much he loved her, and that was what he did from the island. And then he would fly home to her, and then he would fly back to the island and do it all over again many times. Just over and over and over again. Like it was his favorite thing to do almost. Ooh. All right. Very nice. Mister is like, I better shut up before they come after me. Convicted of over 100 counts of trafficking, she's getting a minimum security prison. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Ooh, so here is the incineration cannon. We've got Master Queef. We've got Master Chief. Halo Wars 2, the story so far. Halo 5 Guardians, the story so far. Transparent Buck. Transparent Master Queef. We've got UNSC Warthog. Your Do Not Redeem redemption card. Holographic Let Valier. And your numbered Cortana. 418 out of 699. That's how all those cards are. There's not like a one of one out of those. Mr. Made any funny purchases at the card convention? I just made one purchase. I bought a nice Tyranitar. All right, Jared. Well, you started strong with one really large order that took a while. And now you got a big fat bag with a lot of cards in it. There you go. Loving it. I think your best card in there was the redemption card, which could end up being something very valuable. And then after that, the second best card would probably be the numbered Cortana. Thank you, Jared. And your bag with your cards in it goes into the J boxes until you order shipping. You can leave your cards over here for up to 1 year. So you can ship within the next year. Don't let it go longer than a full year, though, okay? You can keep adding to that bag in the meantime. Okay, what do we have next? So we have Mark J. Valerian, 2 packs, English, 151. Oh, I'm having some back pain. God, I hate back pain. You think there's only one Jeff Island? That's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, he's probably not wrong. I mean, that was just one island here in the West where people don't allow that kind of stuff. I mean, you have to think there's other rich guys around the world who don't really have the scrutiny of Western, feminized Western, you know, lesbian values. There's places, you know, in Africa, the Middle East, maybe Asia, where they do not care about some of those rules. They have very different versions of human rights or like what's right or just or moral or women, or all that stuff. So I guarantee you that stuff goes on all day long somewhere. Snip of this. So we're very outraged about it over here, and it's definitely going on somewhere over there, which any billionaire can just fly to if they want to. They got airplanes. They got private airplanes. We are. You think there's only one Jeff Island? More Island. Here's Onyx, Ekans, Gengar. Hollow's actually a nice pull in this set. There is no Master Ball version of that Gengar in English, so the Hollow and the Reverse Hollow would be the ones to grade. Okay, Mark. Mr. Mark. His name is Mark. Okay. I'm going to start a new bag for you, Mark. Tell me, please, where's this island? Hey! All right. This guy's trying to be a wise guy. Very nice. Yeah, who knows what goes on in the far corners of the world. Mark J. Valerian. 925. Number 2. Ta-da! I learned that Israel doesn't keep a national offenders list. There we go. All right. I'm sure there's a couple countries that don't do that, that surround Israel too. Here's Rachu, Unified Minds. They have a very different culture about women. There you are. Okay. Good. The West is a very sort of like, the West is definitely more pro-feminism, pro-woman rights, and all that stuff. You are? All right. Even the Christian religion was sort of like, oh, we worship Mother Mary or something, you know? That was sort of like an invention. They didn't do that with a lot of religions. I think worship is probably the wrong word, but, you know, venerate or something like that. So the cheapest Rachu and Rachu graded by CGC is $85. When Trump did the gold-green pass, my mind was, so now you can buy people legally. What? Is it almost 7 for you? It's 5:55. So we have about, maybe a little less than an hour left. I'm going to be done by about 6:45. Like I said, that guy's coming over. Okay. It's kind of a cloudy day to take the boat out. I send an order. Sounds good. Donnie Verdike, he says, all right, mister, 2 more Stellar Crown, 3 more Blue Sky Stream. I'm international, so I'd like to update my bag. Perfect. Okay, we grab these. We're going to get you an updated bag. And you'll want to just keep coming in here and updating it, okay? So every time it gets almost a year long, or let's say every 6 months at least, make sure you come in and renew it. All right. When, oh, I already read that. What'd you call it? The gold green pass? You mean like where you can pay like millions of dollars and become an immediate U.S. citizen? There's a lot of countries that already do that. And you have to make like an investment into the country. And then they say, oh, we'll come right in. They are. All right. Tossing that? Yeah, like we could probably ask AI that question because I think I actually have asked that question before. Where can you pay a lot of money to immediately become a citizen of a country? Citizenship by investment. All right, so there's the Caribbean. It's listing a whole bunch of Caribbean places. Malta, Austria. Austria is pretty notable. Turkey, Jordan, and Egypt, Vanuatu. It's not the biggest list, though. Austria is pretty interesting. Whoa. Austria requires a $10 million purchase. Holy, dude. Malta requires a $750,000 purchase, plus you must buy a piece of property. Huh. Oh, so people say what you can do is buy into one of these countries that has access to the EU, and then once you've bought in, you can just travel around the EU very quickly. That's clever. Here's Comfy. Here's Knockdown. Is the line long? Not really. Not too long. Here's Wooloo Crispin Clean Clang. Ooh, okay, nothing crazy popping out there. Here's a Hollow Jumpluff. Cold. And you did it! You got the Schoolboy! Yay! That's my favorite one. All right. Very nice. There you go. There we go. You play Marvel Rivals. Let's set this here. And we'll grab this box. So that says 1224 on it. And we're going to grab our pretty little marker. And we're going to say international. And then we're going to say 9.25 on it. There you have it. Why is he sniffing his finger? Because he had just spent some time on the Jeff Island. Whew. Miss 6, 2 more. Chinese 151. That might have been why she was asking, because she was already in line. Tossing that. Okay, let's see. How much is a PSA 9 of this Raichu? I gotta know. I gotta know how much a 9 of that Raichu goes for. Okay. Sniff that Diglett. Cubone top 10 Pokemon. Cubone's a top 10 Pokemon, bro. Ooh, Beedrill. Beautiful. And Gyarados. Mister, in Korea, there's a huge Pokemon store, and since this country doesn't have scalpers, there are always retail full of stock. You should move here. I'm moving, dude. Karis would love to be in Korea. She loves it over there. She loves what she reads about it anyways, or sees on the YouTube. I'm gonna learn how to speak in Korean. There you are. Then I can join the Squid Games. Pay for people of citizenship can't be exploited? ? I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that America wasn't selling citizenships a long time ago. It seems like a really good idea, you know, because it's such a big country. It's not like you're out of room. You know, it's not like there's not enough room. And we got this big, you know, we got this giant debt hanging over our head. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad if the government could have people who are very wealthy pay that debt off and move in. That'd be cool. Plus, once they're here, they just keep paying taxes, you know? So it's like new income stream, right? And they buy stuff in the local economy too. So say you got a guy and he's got $1 billion and he's French. Well, he can go live over in France, pay French taxes, and buy French food and whatever he buys in France as well, like French cars or whatever. Or he can pay a fee to get in the U.S. Maybe it's like $10 million or something. He pays a fee to get in the U.S. Now he's paying taxes to the U.S. from now on. Now he buys stuff in our local economy. So he goes shopping in our supermarkets. He buys our food. What do you think's better? The goal of every country should be to capture as many of the high net worth individuals you can and tax them. That's the game. That's the actual game. instead of scaring them away and saying, get out of here, we don't like you, we should be capturing as many of the high net worth individuals as possible and running a little tax on them and be like, well, you live here because it's safer, it's nicer, it's more convenient, we got more of the stuff, better doctors, better opportunities, better real estate, more nature, more freedoms, and you can pay taxes here and you'll actually save a lot of money compared to France. So that's what we should be doing all day long. And yeah, I don't know why anyone would complain about the idea. I think the major complaint is maybe it cheapens the sense or the culture of the citizenship in a certain way. But then again, it's like, how should any culture, how should any society hand out a citizenship? It's actually a really fascinating question. You know, how does somebody get into the group? Next up, we got Ivan Rodriguez. Mew Slab, I have a $5 credit for my last purchase that I overpaid. Can I use it to claim one Ancient Mew? And I send the balance you said on the last submission. Okay, so hold on. Let me look up the Ancient Mew price. Ancient Mew. Now, that one's pretty nice. Ancient Mew. Give me a second here. Okay, we want to buy it now. So it looks like Ancient Mew 8.5 is going to be about $84. Is that okay? He's not cheap because he's actually a pretty valuable card. Here's one. What's the Indians come to Canada, mister? Do you mean the Native Americans or do you mean like people from India? Man, people from India are smart as hell. We love to beat up on India, but they're smart as hell. They're some of the best programmers, great CEOs. And then, you know, there's cultural differences, but they have a pretty interesting culture anyways, you know, like they have their gods and all that. And they'll be like a mix of Muslim, Hindu, and what is the Indian religion called? I don't know what it's called. Japanese have Shintoism. The Chinese have something that starts with the C. I can't remember it. There's too much to memorize. Here we are. So this is 85. Buddhism. Yeah, Buddhism. We are. All right. Yeah, I don't have anything against Indian people. I don't like it if people are too racist against them. They do have some issues in India. They're overcrowded in some places. They have slums that need taken care of. They got a lot of, they don't dispose of their waste properly. And I think that looks poorly on them. And there's a simple solution to that. They should just go in and fix that. But I think that India has a bright future ahead of it. Can you send me the code on the Halo card? I sure can. All you got to do is email me or send me a message on Discord, okay? India half top, eat meat. What? Buddhism comes from Hinduism. India have been still trying to contact me because I owe taxes with the IRS. Yeah, that's not right. You know, they run the scams. I don't like that. That's not right. Obviously, but, you know, other countries do stuff similar to that. Like, for example, there's drug cartels in South America. So, you know, Russia has like a mafia. Italy has a mafia, right? And they were violent. They were really violent. So, you know, the guy who steals your grandma's money over the phone, at least is not putting a bullet in her. The Japanese have the Yakuza. Chinese have something, I'm sure. All right, let's take a quick look at this. It's the price for the Raichu, 85. That's correct. The price on the Raichu is 85. Actually, I'm really curious what a PSA 9 on that Raichu is. Let me see. PSA 9. Unified Minds. Raichu. 54. Oh, I typed in PSA 8. I want to compare his price real fast. Okay, yeah. So 85 is the CGC 10 price. The PSA 9 price is 55. You know, the difference between those are so subtle that it's almost not worth it to risk the regrade. All right. Chinese have Squid Games. China has military. We have the government. In PSA 10, the Raichu is worth around 300. Yeah, so the CGC 10 is not as valuable as the PSA 10. Ivan Rodriguez, he wanted to claim one Ancient Mew. Now, wait a second. So, Ivan, I'm in the middle of processing this, Ivan. But if I look at it, so, Ivan, it says here that you already have a $740 slab away and it's multiple cards. So, in this case, Ivan, I can't allow you to slab away one of the Mews. The only thing you can do is pay down the way. So, what I would do if I wanted the Ancient Mew, I would save up and buy him outright because you'll probably have a chance to do that. There's two of them. But you've already got a slab away. That's kind of how slab away works. It's one at a time. Mr. I ordered from some Paldean Fates. I really want that Bubble Mew. Didn't know the gap between PSA and CGC is that huge. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Here's Mr. Jared. He wants the redemption on his card. Do not redeem. Jared, we're going to redeem your card now. Do not redeem. I don't like too much trash talk on there we go. Other people in particular, I think people from India are going to do very well over time. I think one of the issues that we run into in the West is so many people move in that it feels like there's been a population replacement. And I think that that's a very legitimate concern, that if you voice it, people are like, well, you like the mustache man? And so it gets that way, but it's like, well, you know, I don't think it would go down well in any country. Like Hawaiians complain about too many people moving to Hawaii, for example. And nobody, you know, nobody faults them for feeling that way. In fact, a lot of people support them and say, oh, yeah, that's not right. That's not right. That can't be happening. Let's see. To scratch this, I have to have something to scratch it with. But so, you know, like in Canada, they complain there's too many Indian people moving to Canada. I hear about that. There you go. On the internet all the time. And it's like, well, the influx is really severe. And your major city doesn't feel, I don't know, Canadian anymore. You might feel frustrated by that because you weren't intending to live in India. You were intending to live in Canada. There you go. So, you know, that's a very tricky subject. All right. Nobody likes to talk about that. It's such an uncomfortable thing, you know. They're talking about that over in the UK right now. I think they're talking about it a lot right now. All right. My bet is in the upcoming elections in Europe, that'll continue to be a top subject. There we go. All right. Whew. U.S. replaced all the Lilo Stitch Hawaiian people. No, actually, if you look at it, whites are a minority on Hawaii. Whites are like 21%. It's actually Asians, Filipino, Chinese, and Japanese, and maybe a little more, maybe a little Korean, maybe a little Singapore, which I think Singapore is just a mix anyways. But no, white people are just like 1 in 5, maybe. It's everyone else this time. A whole bunch of other people moved in, and it was Asians. Asians have kind of taken over the island to a certain degree. From my perspective, when I look at the data and the analytics, I don't know if white people are exclusively blamed. And also, it's not just about white people, though. It's about rich people. Rich people buy up the island, and that's really frustrating, too. So it's not strictly a racial thing. It's a wealth divide thing. Here's Grady Williams, 1 box of Fusion Art. You got it for 45 bucks. You must be talking about the Korean version of the set. Very good. Let's see. I got to go get a fresh box. You ready? While people and pasta don't mix well, I love white people. You have to say it like you mean it. White. All right, here we are. There you go. My sugar baby is Mexican. What? There we go. Where's my sugar baby? Mr. Grady Williams. India's still been calling me, telling me that I owe taxes and I need to get them gift cards. Rich scalpers buying all the Hawaiian island. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's right. Tourism, there's so much tourism that there could be a lot of white people over there who don't live there, but they're just always over there because of the tourism. But if you want to talk about white people that actually live there, they're like 21% of the population. They're a minority. There you are. All right, Grady. Can I reserve that Mew? If you want to put the ancient Mew into slab away, you can do a $5 slab away on them. Here we are. They're scalping an island. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, you got like Mark Zuckerberg. He bought a huge chunk. Oprah Winfrey, she bought a huge chunk. You've heard about the controversy with her when there was a big fire on the island. A lot of people suffered. And then she did like a charity, and it turned out the charity keeps a lot of the money. And she's a billionaire who lives on the island. She takes a lot of the land. And it's like, yeah, I'll help you guys out. Just send me money to send to the Hawaiians. Wink. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. So, there we are. All right. Then she was paid money later to do like interviews with Kamala Harris. And that didn't win her any popularity either. Oprah hates the Hawaiians. Oprah didn't open the gate when there was a tsunami. Yeah. So there was a lot of feelings like that. So, you know, that's why I'm saying it's not necessarily strictly racial. I think it's just a rich versus the poor kind of situation. I bet you the Hawaiians are very accepting people, and that has not gone well for them. Because, you know, if you're kind and someone's mean, the mean person wins. That's kind of how it works. If you're kind and the other person is mean, they eat your lunch. You know what I mean? So they're over there. They got the aloha culture. They're very relaxed, maybe like open-minded kind of culture. And you actually have to be a giant asshole to say, this is mine. Get out of here. Get the F out of here. You know, you got to be a little crazy, like your Uncle Jeb or something. And that's what creates a nation. That's what creates a territory. That's what creates a flag. And you say, this is my flag, and it's not your flag, and you can get lost. You know what I mean? It's all asshole behavior. And so, but if you're all love, that seems like really good on paper. It's like, hey, that's moral. That's good. That's civilized. But then somebody else eats your lunch and you're like, oh, well, and now I don't exist here anymore. Right? So they'd be a minority on their own island. Maybe they were too nice. Maybe they were too accepting. It's kind of a crazy thought, isn't it? And then the countries that are the most aggressive and not accepting, they're not going to lose their flag or their identity. They're going to keep that crap because they're jerks about it. You know? Basically, what I'm saying is nature does not reward being a nice guy. Nature rewards aggression. It's just some sort of basic fact. And even though the police and the military try to civilize you as a man in your own society, what that same government does to the real world is shoots them with rockets from like 1,000,000 miles away. So we have a very violent government, and that's why we continue to exist. And anyone who's not violent disappears over time. Really fascinating idea. Violence is key. There we go. Like the founding fathers, they're like, the F, we will pay your taxes. Get your guns, guys. We're going to shoot them. See, these guys who are exactly the same as us, but they like the crown, kill them. All of them. Get the hell out of here. That's what the founding fathers did. They were jerks. Nah, we ain't paying that. Get the F out of here or we'll shoot you to death. There you go. And they said, this is our land now. They were thieves, really. All right, Grady Williams. Let's grab your bag. It's very fascinating because we think of them as like these brilliant scholars, which I think they were pretty educated and they spoke well and they wrote well. But at the very heart of it, they were like, this is ours and not yours. And we'll kill you until you're gone. And now we have the United States. And that's the founding of literally every single country in the world. And it seems like a bad thing. And maybe paradise is when everyone puts their gun down and says, we're all just the same people. We all bleed the same. We're all one world, one country. That's a one world government, bro. It'll never happen. It'll never work. Because eventually somebody turns into an asshole and says, actually, all this should be mine. So there's just this selfish thing in the human gene that makes you selfish and it makes you says, I'm not laying my gun down. Actually, what I really want to do is take all that stuff from that other guy. So it's great to have this fantasy where we all get along and there's love and peace, and we all set our egos aside, our cultures, our religions, we set it all aside and we say, none of that matters. All that matters is brotherly love. That would be really cool. It's very optimistic. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Totally imaginary. Definitely a make-believe fairy tale of what could be, but it's not nature. Nature doesn't reward that. Nature rewards aggression. We are, ooh. Pretty interesting. Those are my thoughts. Charity is so easily scammable. One world only exists if they're printing good food. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, like if technology gives us ultra power, like straight from the sun, or like we can turn dirt into gold, you know, like something out of Star Trek. Yeah, changing technology could create a one world government. Grady Williams, new bag. I redeemed it. Do not redeem! It says Brute Captain. Brute Captain. Aw. I don't know how it all works. Maybe he's a numbered one. I said do not redeem. CS Man says 4 Paldean Fates. Also, could you show the card I wanted to give away? I couldn't find it in the live stream. Thank you. I do not know where it is. It's probably downstairs now. Do you guys remember what it is? Let's see. 4 Paldean Fates. I gotta go get some Paldean Fates. I'll be back, guys. Actually, I probably need to reprice them because from what I understand, the Paldean Mew has gone up even further. Delicious 3D printed food like from the Subnautica, like from Star Trek. Do not redeem. I'm back. Whew. All right. A Pikachu burger give? I think it was the McDonald's Pikachu. All right. So, Paldean Fates. Here it is. Let's pretend to go get a restock of the Paldean Fates. All right. Booster bundle case. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, be. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, doo-doo-doo. So, this is 6 booster packs per bundle. All right. Give me a minute here. So, I heard the news that this set, the Mew has gone up to a new wild price. Wow. So, I'm being recommended to sell this at a much higher price than we currently sell it at. Let me see what else I can find out about it. Mister, I got my slab, thank you. Woohoo! All right, that sounds good. Paldean Fates booster packs can be weighed? What the hell? What is wrong with people? People are weighing booster packs. That just makes me so mad, dude. How? How could people be doing this? All right, let me take a quick look, everybody. Wow. Okay. Now let me go over here. Oops. Oops. All right. So. Doing a little price research here. Wow. So, since June, Paldean Fates sealed product is up 50%. How? It's just crazy. All right, so here's another sealed product. Let me get a kind of a price check on this, guys. Oops. Wow, that's unbelievable. All right, let me try. I'm trying to find like a cheap version of it. Please don't change the price. We are but peasants in this card world. I know. I don't like doing it either, actually. But how old is Paldean Fates anyways? How old is this set? Is this set old yet? It says on the back, right? Doesn't it? When was this made? This was made in 2024. It's only 1 year old. Shocking. Shocking. So, booster bundle display. I think this one's cheaper than the last one. Hold on. Divided by 10, divided by 6. Bro. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and acquire a fresh round of these. They are definitely at the price that Hidden Fates made it to. I just cannot believe it. Wait, mister, can you open one bundle like 6 for the same price? I'll pay it now. Nope, nope. You have to do it before the price change comes in. I know what you're asking. You're asking for it to stay the same before the change. So these will be $22 a pack at this point. It's actually supposed to be 23. We'll do 22 for now, okay? I hear you, but I have just a couple bundles left. So we don't actually have a lot of this left. That's why we're doing our restock. So anytime a restock occurs over here, especially in a product that hasn't been repriced in a long time, wow, that's crazy with the taxes. Hold on. Jesus, dude. Hold on. Okay, so it's recommending 24. I will do 22, and that's it for the Pokemon cards. Let me see. Pokemon, Paldean Fates. Wow, who's that? 17? And so we're restocking today, and it goes from 17 to 22. That's nuts, dude. Wonder what else is doing that. We have Paldea Evolved. I wonder if that's the same. So that's looking a lot like the way Hidden Fates used to look. Hidden Fates was like a $25 a pack item at some point. We are. All right, I'll toss this up here. There we go. Yeah, the cutoff time for purchasing a product at a lower price is right before I change the price on it. And we were doing that. We were doing a restock. Once the restock is in, that's the price change. I'm drinking the protein drinks that make me... You selling the McDonald's Pikachu? You know, I've had that question a lot. It would be interesting to take maybe 5 of them and do like a break maybe. Or maybe like 4 of them and do a break. So wait, how many did you order again? You ordered 4 of them. You did pretty good. You were only 2 shy of a whole bundle. So you got 4 of them at the older price. You saved like 20 bucks here. Go. What's nice about mine, they're totally unsurged, unweighed, untampered with. They come out of a sealed case. So we only do high quality stuff. And the cases just cost more. That's just how it is. Also, keep in mind, when you're looking at my price, yes, a little bit is going to be a profit. Some of it is also taxes. If you didn't know that, you know, when you check out products at the grocery store, you have to pay taxes at the cash register. If you check out stuff at Walmart, you got to pay taxes on it. Notice how we don't do that right here in the Cardconomist channel. That's because the taxes are already built into the price. So my prices would look lower if we just separated taxes, you know, if you had to pay them separately. Can I buy 2 of the McDonald's Pikachus? So there's definitely some interest in the McDonald's Pikachus, but I'm not prepared to sell one in this live stream. But I will think about maybe creating some sort of break or something. I don't know, but I would not be interested in selling them outright. Hey, you did good. Look at that, picking up the full art Alakazam. Very nice. You also got a Palafin AR. He looks sweet as hell, so he looks good. Okay, maybe you still have a chance for one more hot item. Let's see. So pack number 4, Toxtricity popping out. Not bad, man. 4 packs, 4 pulls. That's pretty good. All right. I'll discord you. I can kind of just tell you I'm not going to take that deal. So with the McDonald's Pikachus, my plan was to grade them. I might do some other kind of maybe like Pikachu break. I don't know. Maybe they can go in the Pokeshelf or the live custom to keep those lively, but I'm not intending to sell them. Here we are. All right, Mr. CS Man. Let's see. You're being kept in this box over here. Did not do bad there, Mr. CS Man. I thought that your round was pretty good. New bag? Let's get you a new bag. So now the Paldean Fates have jumped really significantly after the restock. And their price, even though it's high, it is reflecting a very similar price we've seen in the past to Hidden Fates product. Hidden Fates with SV49 Charizard. Maybe you could argue that the Bubble Mew is like at that level, you know, where he's just that popular. Your quality is good. Mister, I effed up my ankle so bad. Uh-oh. What'd you do? You tripped? You must have tripped. You do a lot of walking. Ivan Rodriguez, Mew 8.5. Hey, there you go. Mr. Ivan's going to go ahead and purchase this one outright. He's all yours. Okay. Mr. Ivan So you say you have $5 left over. I don't see that, but I will just accept it. Ivan. All right, let's see one more time. So these did get upgraded when we crossed them to CGC. The price difference isn't humongous. It's black and blue and swollen foot. Ew. What would you say happened? You tripped? That's not good. You're going to have to lay in bed and do some weightlifting now. That's a great reminder that when you're exercising, even a gentle or, you know, not crazy kind of exercise, to just be very mindful about not tripping or doing some kind of mistake in your movement that causes you to totally hurt yourself. So Mr. Jack Woodworth bought the other Mew. Both Mews are gone now. It looks like the Mews were pretty popular, huh? Ancient Mew. If I buy the SBC, can you ship the whole box, bro? Yeah, we can do that. That would be $15 shipping if you'd like to do that. Could you send the money back for my order, please? Oh, never mind, lol. Yeah, I happen to have 2 of those Ancient Mews. It's all good. You get one and he gets one. That was all I had. I only had 2 of them, so you are in luck because this appears to be pretty popular. Okay, got that cleaned up a little bit. My legs are covered in bruises, but it's from training. Do you have Chinese 151 boxes? So there's different versions of the 151 box. We have this version, Pika, and then we have the much more expensive Surprise 151 set. Now that is the set with the Gengar in it. If you're wanting one of those, it's $200 per box, and we don't open any of them until all of them are sold. So we're hosting a unique thing that you probably can't find anywhere else on the internet. It's called a case break. The case break's a very valuable thing because you're basically paying for a box where you're guaranteed to know that no one else has pulled out Gengar yet. It's a freshly sealed case, could have Gengar in the case, no one sniped it out yet, and so you don't have to worry about just being the guy who buys the cold boxes. It's a nice thing. That's why we're doing it that way. So that's a case break on 151. 3 boxes I've sold so far. We got 17 more to sell. Could turn one of those into a break. People might be interested in that. Each box is a shot at the Gengar. So I've got a spot in there myself. Gives me a 1 in 20 odds. It's a very cool product. Do not redeem. All right, we redeemed it, guys. It is 6:28. This feels like the perfect wrap-up time, to be honest with you, because we just ran out of orders. We had a good day with these CGC slabs. I liked a lot of the cards we got in here. Ooh, Joshua is jumping in on that case break. All right, so check in from time to time. I can't promise you that this will sell out in a day. Could take about 2 weeks for it to sell out. By the time it gets about this full, you'll see some excitement on it because people will want to start buying up those last boxes. They'll prioritize it. But yeah, so this is a cool item. One of the cooler items we have, in fact. And I like that Gengar Pikachu. I might have to buy myself one at some point. But he's almost $4,000, and so, I don't know. It's really overpriced. There he goes, up to 4, and 16 remain. Okay. All right. I got it before a tax bonus of $1,628, so that's nice. Nice. I was jogging and must have sprained my ankle in a big crevice on the sidewalk 2 days ago. Ooh, ouch. So you're saying you didn't realize you had hurt it even while you were sort of running around, but then later up is swelled up. Steven Gonzalez, he says 40 for the binder break. All right, the binder break is definitely in a very strong spot right now. Steven Gonzalez. I don't know. I feel like the binder break maybe competes with the raw shuffle a little bit. So this might be my last round of the binder break. I don't think it's brought the same attention that I would have hoped for. Well, then again, these are like higher end cards. Yeah, I don't know. But look at this. You got the McDonald's Pikachu, and Reshiram, Greninja, this Mewtwo with the little bend here. Here's a Rainbow Dragonite, Mewtwo, and then you get all of these too. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Lots of stuff in here. You know what I haven't made in a while? I haven't made those junk packs in a while. I'm going to make some junk packs. I'll show you pictures, mister. I like the old junk. Remember the junk packs? I got to make some of those, man, because we managed to liquidate a lot of cards with the junk packs, and people were happy with them. I haven't made those in a while. I need to stop and make those. Okay, binder break is 2 out of 7. This might be the last round of the binder break. We are. I don't know how to feel about it yet. There wasn't, I don't think there was the anticipation for the binder break that I thought there would be. I thought there would be more excitement for it, but maybe it's just the nature of the product's not that good. All right, guys. Wow, what a great stream. So that was the Monday daytime stream. Come back for the the Monday vertical nighttime stream. We skipped vertical and daytime, so we're going to do it in the nighttime. And we will go ahead and compare the statistics between the two streams as well. Okay, guys? So you guys got the likes up to 41. I'm having a bet that probably the nighttime stream is going to beat that. So that is my theory, is nighttime's probably going to pass 41. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next daytime stream for Tuesday. And if you join me tonight, we'll be in vertical mode.